Hi YouTube, it's Tay here. It's a cloudy day here in Texas, in Tomball, Texas, Pinehurst, Texas. Looking outside the window and it's just kind of gray today. And my next video was supposed to be an unboxing video, and I will do that, of this birthday gift I got for myself in Mexico. But before I do that video, I wanted to talk to you guys about money. You know, I think for most people, money is an interesting conversation to have, whether it's how to invest, or, oh man, I'm in so much debt, or how do I get out of debt, or I'm just frustrated, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And yeah, it's hard. And especially after 2020 being a crazy COVID year that's never happened before in my lifetime, or my parents' lifetime, pandemic like that. I mean, I know that people have suffered through depression, wars, etc. But just to be confined to your house for the sake of not getting a disease or a viral disease or infection, it was hard. It was hard. And it was also hard on our pocketbooks. And so I looked up a few stats on Google, and I saw that, approximately 80% of Americans are in debt, especially after COVID, and that's just all kinds of debt. 63% live paycheck to paycheck after COVID. That's hard. That is hard because we've all been there at some point or another, where we fell short in paying our bills, or we had to juggle or borrow money, etc., etc. So yeah, money is a very, very interesting, crazy, depressing topic to talk about. And so let's talk about it. All right. So during COVID, I did a lot of baking at home. I did a lot of YouTube watching at home, and I loved what I got out of it. I loved watching Joanna Gaines and making her chocolate chip cookies. Those were good. Making Not Yo Mama's banana pudding. That was a fun video. And yeah, I can see how people gained their COVID 15, freshman 15. So I get it. But I also understand how people went broke. How businesses went broke or went under and completely shut down. How landlords are losing tenants. It's just bad all around. And I'm Amazon and grocery stores and places like that. The essentials, they prospered big time. But there's always good and bad. But yeah, for the average consumer, for the average American, it wasn't good. And so I'm here to talk to you guys about a show, and I'm sure you're going to be, oh, Tay, I know, I've heard of him. I got hooked on a show. I got hooked on Dave Ramsey's YouTube videos. And when I mentioned it to my friends, I'm like, hey, I started watching Dave Ramsey and I got addicted to his YouTube videos. They're like, oh, yeah, I know Dave Ramsey. Or, yeah, we've lived by, or my parents have taught me about Dave Ramsey. But then there are a lot of people who've never heard of Dave Ramsey, like me. I might have heard of him in passing, but just never gave it a thought. But yeah, I like him. He's based in Tennessee. He lives in Tennessee, and I think the guy is really, really awesome. I think his personality is one that's just kind of like no nonsense. Who's going to tell you what he thinks, whether you agree with it or not? At the end of the day, he's successful for a reason, and he's helping others. And yeah, he's making money on that. But the fact is, that's okay. He's helping others, and I really found his advice helpful. And so, and he's helped me. And I'm not a person that was struggling, trust me, I have struggled in the past, I just turned 45 years old. And when Ryan and I first got married, yeah, it was hard, but, and I'll tell you bits and pieces of that. But I'm just here to just talk today. And if you guys are just, bored, or listening to me in the car or whatever, just have a drink and listen. So I'm going to go over What really intrigued me about Dave Ramsey? Well, first of all, his YouTube videos, they have callers calling in and talking about their problems. And, oh, I have $100,000 in student debt. And he'll say something like, are you a doctor or a lawyer? Or or personal relationship problems because of money. And it's just, some of it was just hard to hear. Some of it was like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot. Some of it, just my opinions. We all have our opinions. But a lot of it, at the end of the day, I probably agreed with probably about 95, 97% of what he said to his listeners. I don't want to say 100 because I can't remember everything, but yeah, I pretty much agree with him wholeheartedly. Well, except for the credit card thing. But anyway, that's another point. So let me go over his Dave Ramsey's rules, and I have it in my I use an Erin Condren planner because I'm that girl. So this is my Erin Condren planner that I use. I'm a pen and paper gal. You guys know I'm not tech savvy. My stupid YouTube videos in Mexico where I was holding the video the wrong way and my kids were like, Mom, we told you to hold it, whatever. Anyway, so I'm real. This is me. I am not, yes, I've got to dye my hair. This is me. What you get is real. What you get is what I'm talking to you guys like I would talk to a friend in a coffee shop. So anyway, I ramble a lot, and those of you who know me, I get off the subject a lot. It's just my brain is wired to where it goes bing, 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 and whatever pops in my head, pops in my head. Okay, so sorry if I talk too fast or whatever, but yeah, I'm going to share with you what I learned. So Dave Ramsey's plan is just basically 7 rules. You don't have to buy the book, but if you want to buy the book, that's fine. Sure, it's at half price books to save money, but basically, or just watch his YouTube videos because they talk about it and people talk about it. Basically, his plan is this. The first step in Dave Ramsey's baby steps is what it's called, is to save $1,000 for an emergency fund, $1,000 in cash for an emergency fund. Okay? Yeah, so you work, get to $1,000, just put $1,000 away in an envelope, put it away somewhere where you're not going to touch it. And that's for your emergency fund. And what's an emergency fund? It's to pay your flat tire or, random things that happen. Or if you have a house, your toilet goes out. You need plumbing. You need to fix it with plumbing or AC or whatever. And I know $1,000 is not going to buy you a brand new AC unit, but yeah, it's there for the little emergencies, okay? Then step 2, once you have your emergency fund, your emergency $1,000 cash, just put aside or whatever, or I guess you could leave it in a separate account. Just don't touch it. It's for emergencies only. The second step is to pay off all debt. Well, yeah, that's a hard one. Step 2 is where most people get stuck for the longest time because pay off all your debt. Well, what kind of debt do we have? We have a mortgage. We have car debts. We have credit card debts. We have, home insurance. If you have life insurance, whatever debt, okay? So what he's saying is to list all your debts, each and every one. So if you have a car payment, a credit card bill that you're paying on and you're paying interest on, just whatever, your mortgage, list it all in order, okay? Now leave the mortgage last. Your home mortgage is last. So just put that at the bottom. Don't even look at that one right now, okay? Sorry, just shook it. So put your debts in order from smallest to largest. So if you have a car payment that's like, I don't know, $18,000 left, you have a credit card payment that's like $5,000, and you have another credit card payment that's like, another credit card payment that's like $500, put it in debt from least to greatest, not counting your mortgage. So what he wants you to do is to pay off your debts, smallest to largest. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pay off your $500 credit card debt first as fast as you can. So what he's saying to do is you get your paycheck, okay? Let's say you make whatever, X amount a month, okay? You pay your necessities. You have to pay for gas, your electric, your bills to keep your house and everything going. You have your mandatory necessities that you have to pay, right? Then whatever you have left over, you're going to throw it at the smallest bill. And then that might take you a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, however many months it takes you to pay that off, pay it off, okay? Then when you're done paying that one, yay, you're done. Then you go to your next debt. Then you pay that one off. And that's why it's called the snowball method, because it's like, it starts off where you start you make a snowball, you make a snowball, and you roll it to your next biggest debt, and then eventually you have this massive debt that you've just paid off all. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a lot of budgeting. And like I said, Dave Ramsey's show, they have all these people that talk about how to budget, and everybody budgets differently. Everybody makes money differently. Everybody pays bills, whatever. They'll talk about that. But that's step 2. So step 2 is pay off all your debt in order from smallest to greatest. And you're going to say, but hey, my $500 credit card debt is only, 5% interest, and my other one is 24% interest. Why don't I pay that big one off first? Because psychologically, you'll feel better about yourself if you pay the little ones off first. It's all in Dave Ramsey's explanations. Okay, so let's say after 2 years, you pay off all your debt, not counting the mortgage. Then the third step is you save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So basically, calculate how much it costs for you, if you're an individual or a family, to live. So if you're, you calculate your mortgage, your car payments, your insurance, your taxes, your just whatever, your food, your gas, just easy tag, internet, phone, cell phone, add all that up, okay? And add up all your bills and see, this is what I actually need to pay, okay? These are the bills that I absolutely need to be paid, or you'll get cut off or whatever. Then add in your grocery bill, okay? Going out to eat, I know people do it. I mean, he tells you not to go out to eat and live on rice and beans and rice until you get your debt paid off, and just be very, very frugal. But add all that up and then multiply that by 3. So let's say your monthly, and I'm just pulling a number out of my, let's say your monthly expenses is $4,000, okay? Multiply 4,000 times 3, that's 12,000. Save $12,000 in your emergency fund. So your emergency fund had $1,000 in it, right? Well, you're going to add 12,000, which is 3 months, or 6 months. So 4 times 6 is 24,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money, but he wants you to save that money up in your emergency fund and this is for, heaven forbid, you lose your job, you get fired, something happens, medical emergency, knock on wood, medical emergency, any of that stuff. He wants you to have that cash aside so you have peace of mind. So if it comes to it, you can pay for whatever you need to do in cash. Okay? Now, don't think once you have that money saved, don't be like, oh, let's go buy a new car or whatever. No, if you don't need a new car, don't get it. So yeah, that's step 3. So number 1, save $1,000. 2, pay off all your debt from smallest to greatest. And 3, save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Once you finish step 3, step 4, invest 15% of your income into tax favored accounts. Okay? IRAs, Roth IRA is the best thing. But you can talk to, when you get there, you can talk to a business planner. You can research that on your own. You're going to invest, or with your company. If your company doesn't match, you definitely want to do that. I mean, if your company matches you, that's giving you free money. If you put in like $10,000 and they match up to 3% or whatever percent, I mean, that's free money that you're getting. So yeah, and it comes off your gross income. But anyway, 15% of your gross income goes into tax favored accounts. Okay, that's step 4. Then step 5, if this applies to you, set up a college fund for your kids' future. Okay, if you have kids. I heard him say once, if you don't have kids, set up a college fund for maybe your niece or nephew, or I think he said something like that. But that's entirely up to you. Okay, so if I didn't have any kids, what I would do is go to step 6, which is pay off home early. So most people have a 30-year mortgage, right? That's bad. And if you haven't heard by now, or if you're not financially savvy or whatever, paying off a mortgage in 30 years is like buying your house, and buying 1.5 to 2 houses for the bank. I mean, it's just not good. So even if you make one extra full payment a year, so instead of 12 payments a year, you make 13. I think that shaves 7 years of payments off the life of the loan. So instead of 30 years, you pay in 23 years. I don't know. There's calculations for all that, and that's like all over the internet. But my point is just to say, pay off your home early. I have always gotten a 15-year loan, and it is harder to pay sometimes because you're paying it in half the time. But even with a 15-year loan, I will add more to principal. And pay off your home early is step 6, and that's the step I'm on. So yeah, I'm on step 6. And 7 is build wealth and give generously. Okay, so those are the steps, Dave Ramsey's baby step plans in order. Okay, I will go over it one more time. Step 1, emergency fund of $1,000 cash. Don't touch it unless, like I said, you have a small emergency. Step 2, pay off all your debt, smallest to biggest. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Your choice, 3 to 6 months, just in case something happens. Step 4, invest 15% into tax favored accounts. If your company doesn't match, or if your company or whatever job you have, you can always go to a financial planner and invest in a Roth IRA. And there's a limit to how much you can put into a Roth IRA. Roth IRAs are good because when you take it out later, when you get ready to retire and you take it out later, that's all tax free. You don't have to pay taxes on that money because the government is going to get theirs from here to there every which way. But with Roth IRA, it's a very good investment, so you should try to max that out if you can, or just put some into it. That's step 4. 5, college fund, save for the kids' future. 6, pay off home early. 7, build wealth and give generously. So when you're at step 7, okay, what he's basically saying is you are going to build your wealth because you don't have any debt. Your house is paid off. Just put it away, save it. Just save your money. Think about your retirement. Calculate how much money you're going to need to live on. And like I said, a good financial planner will guide you through all that. Or you can, if you can't figure it out on your own, I guess you can. But yeah, we have a financial planner that I see once a year. And yeah, when the market's good, I'm happy. When the market's bad, I'm like, what's going on, Wally? But okay, so I have done these steps before I even watched Dave Ramsey. I've done these steps kind of out of order. Like, my oldest child is 17. He's going to go to college. He's a senior this year. He's going to be a senior, and he's going to go to college. We've already started a college fund for him when he was, the 529 plan when he was younger. So we've already did that. And yes, we had debt back then. I've always given generously to church people, those that know me. I've always donated my charity of choice is St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I just feel so blessed for having 2 healthy kids that my heart just aches for, parents who struggle with like leukemia or whatever their child may be suffering. So a hospital like St. Jude's that just doesn't charge them anything and relies on people like us to donate, I think it's a good cause. And there's several other good charities out there. That's just one of my choices. And when we moved out of Houston out here, we started going to a church, and I give to the church, and I feel good about it because I feel like when you give, you also receive. And if you believe in God, I feel like God blesses you. He's already blessed us with Jesus Christ, but he blesses you. He sees how you help others, and it's just good. It's good karma. So that's his 7-step plan. Okay. And like I said, I watch YouTube videos, and people call in and tell them there's, and you can always learn from people. It's not like, everybody was raised differently. Some people were raised on the Dave Ramsey's plan. Their parents didn't want their kids to have a debt, so they'll tell their kids about it, or some people just were raised by parents who were bad with money, bad management because they never learned, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to tell you that, money is such a big topic, struggle for a lot of people, for a lot of Americans. 77 to 80% of people in debt. And I'm thinking that's debt in addition to the mortgage. Okay. So in addition to the mortgage or consumer debt. And 63% after COVID live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have anything to save, and we're not getting younger. We need to save. So I really encourage you guys to watch Dave Ramsey's show. Now, having said that, every individual is their own person, okay? How people choose to spend their money or save their money or give away their money is completely up to them. And when I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. I have caught myself saying, oh my gosh, I would never spend that much money on this. Oh my gosh, why is that person wasting all that money on that? I'm like, don't judge. I mean, Tay, there are people who make billions who can afford to spend millions, and it's like a drop in the bucket. It's like nothing, pocket change for them, right? It's just all relative to how much you make, how much you want to spend, or, and yeah, they could give that money to charity, and I'm sure they do. I mean, the point is this: we don't know other people. We can't judge other people. I mean, we do it anyway, but what I'm saying is, if somebody wants to buy an expensive car, it's their prerogative. If they want to buy an expensive car to be flashy or expensive, toys, jewelry, whatever, and they can't afford to pay their bills, or they can't afford to, or they don't want to pay for their kids' college. I mean, that's just another, that's a personal choice, I guess. I can't really say anything. But I mean, the point is this: people spend their money however they want to spend their money. If it puts them in debt, fine. If it doesn't, it's I'm just making this video because I feel like during 2020, I was opened up to Dave Ramsey on YouTube, and I like the guy. I really like Dave Ramsey. I know you're never going to watch my video, but you're awesome. You are brutally honest, and if I ever moved out of my favorite, wonderful state of Texas, Texas forever, I'm never going to leave Texas. I say that. But if I did, I would probably move to Tennessee. Okay, so that's another video I never got to do. Spring break, off the subject again. Last March, we took a road trip. No, not a road trip. Well, we flew into Tennessee, and we did a week trip in Memphis, Nashville, and Pigeon Forge. And y'all, I love Tennessee. Love Tennessee. And I wanted to make a video about that. And it's been so old now. It's like almost July now, and but if you ever want to go on a road trip, okay, I went to Graceland. That was one of my bucket lists. Elvis, oh my gosh, I had such a crush on Elvis when I was young. Went to Graceland, walked through Elvis's house, so cool. Went to Nashville, sat in his recording studio and listen to the tour guide give all these facts and descriptions about what happened there. Got to listen to a recording of Elvis as if we were in the studio, as if he was in the studio with us, and it was just awesome. Went to the Country Music Hall of Fame. We did that. If you're in Memphis, okay, I'm gonna give a shout out to I threw the menu away. I was gonna keep it because I was gonna make a video. Nick and Jim's Barbecue. Wow, I thought. And I'm going to whisper this because I thought Texas had the best barbecue, but Jim and Nick's, was it Jim and Nick's or Nick and Jim's? Jim and Nick's barbecue? So good. So good. So good. I mean, I didn't even know what collard greens were, but I love their collard greens. I love their coleslaw. Everybody got different sides. I mean, I think it's Jim and Nick's. Dang, I don't have the menu. But Jim and Nick's, it was so, so good, y'all. Okay, so, yeah. Tennessee is an amazing... Okay, so we went to Nashville after that, and then we went to Pigeon Forge, where we went to Dollywood. Okay, this is so off topic, but you guys know me. Dollywood was so much fun. The first ride I rode was the roller coaster that it's known for, and... Sorry, my husband's texting me. He's on conference calls. He just said they never stop talking. But anyway, yeah, and then Dollywood was fun, and then we went to Pigeon Forge. We went to, do you know what? I'm going to talk about that later. I'm going to talk about Tennessee later because this video is getting too long. Anyway, so yeah, go to YouTube, watch Dave Ramsey, listen to his baby steps. And for me, guys, y'all, so right now, I mean, I was always in the mindset of interest rates low. I'm going to take advantage of interest rates. And actually, just recently, we refied our house. So my house, the house in Houston, we it was paid off, and we had no debt, and everything was wonderful. But we put our kids in private schools, so that's always a big debt. Then we moved out here and bought a bigger house. It was something we wanted to do. 2 big dogs. We wanted a little bit of. We're on half an acre, and we wanted the dogs to be able to run around and not live in this tiny backyard, because our old house had a pool in it that pretty much took up the whole backyard. I mean, it was a smaller lot. But anyway, so that's why I'm going to be honest with you, we're on step 6, pay off home early, but we refied our house at 2.25%. 2.25. The rule of thumb on refining is it's not worth it if it isn't a whole 1% lower. So if your interest rate is 5%, don't refi at 4.5%. It's not worth it. If it's 4%, 5 to 4, yeah, that's worth it. If it's 4 to 3, that's worth it. 3 to 2.75, 3 to 2.5, 3 to 2.25, no, it's not worth it, because they're going to charge you closing fees. They're going to charge you, and you can just do the math and figure out if it's. But the rule of thumb is if it's not a whole 1% lower, don't refi. And now I've seen rates going as low as 1 point whatever, and I'm just like, ugh. But whatever. You never know when the market's going to tap out, bottom out, whatever. Because I remember back in the day, 3% was an amazing rate. Now at 2.25, I'm just like, why should I pay the house off early when I can invest the extra money that we have into the market, right? Like, I can make more than 2.25% in the market if I take that extra money instead of paying off the house early, right? And I've got college to pay for. And, but I still throw more money on the mortgage because, my Asian brain, no debt, pay it off, pay it off, pay it off. So yeah, we are going to pay off the house. We refied it for 15 years. We are going to pay it off earlier than 15 years. It's just a matter of, how much more I'm going to throw on it. Even though my husband's saying, don't do that, put it all over. But then this is so random. I don't trust the market. I mean, like, seriously, they're printing checks left and right. Okay, I better just stop there because that's another video. That's something I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into politics. Those of you that know me know that if we talk politics, we're going to have to sit down and have a big cup of coffee, more like a beer, to go on that rant. But anyway, yeah, so guys, the whole purpose of me sharing this video is to say, check out Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps. Listen to the callers that call in. I really think that he's such a good man. I don't know him, okay? But I'm saying I feel like anyone who shares, steps on how to make you a better, successful person, anyone who's open to teaching you, I think it's a good deed, right? Because we Americans, I'm just talking Americans because I don't know what's going on. I mean, I just looked it up on Google, but 80% are in debt. 80, okay? 80%. I mean, that's still including multi-millionaires that are in debt, Wow, this video is 28 minutes long, and I've been looking all over the place. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. My next video will be an unboxing of the birthday gift I got myself, so no judging. Yeah, I'm going to do that video next. So have a good day. Check out Dave Ramsey. Leave some comments, guys. I mean, I read your comments because I get a notification. And when people, and I love meeting new people, like, guys, the whole ponchos video, I'm like, yay, we got to talk over, meet people across over ponchos or whatever, or, what you see is what you get. Like, I'm very honest and open, and I'm just sharing my knowledge out there. Why? I don't know. I guess I was challenged. Everybody's doing YouTube. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's fun. I mean, I know why I'm doing it, because I like hearing from you guys. I like seeing people, watch my videos, comment on my videos, say, yeah, man, I like that, or, whatever, and even there was a rude comment, and I responded back rude too. It's like, dude, you don't have to be so negative, and yeah, that was toned down because what I really wanted to say would have probably gotten deleted from YouTube or whatever. But anyway, I mean, there's just whatever. But most of you guys are my friends, and most of you guys are super sweet. And so, yeah, now there's a couple of videos. I'm going to shoot a video with my friend tomorrow, Patty. And there's going to be a giveaway. My first giveaway, guys. I'm sorry, I'm so excited. I am going to do some giveaways. Yeah, I'm going to do some giveaways. Never done it before. Oh, I just broke my pen. I've never done it before, but I'm going to do some giveaways because I appreciate you guys finding me interesting and listening to me and commenting. And so, yeah, that'll be next. So I'll probably do my unboxing. Yeah, that, and you know, I am bad, y'all. Like, I buy stuff and it just sits there for a while. And a while. And a while. So, yeah, I'm looking at the box. It's just sitting there. Okay, my unboxing. I'm going to turn the camera around and basically show you what is over there. That's the unboxing, and it's been sitting there for a while, and it's just anyway, I won't talk about that. But anyway, bye. Oh my gosh, this 30 minutes. Sorry, it's so long. I hope you had fun. I hope you were in a 30-minute car drive and I was just rambling and you guys were like okay with it. But thanks for supporting my channel. Have a good day. Check out Dave Ramsey and let me know what your thoughts are if you already know about Dave Ramsey. All right. Bye guys. Bye.